Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thank you.
Let's do a little housekeeping. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Joseph here for the Study and Chill CISSP series. Um, First, I want to thank our partner with Pocket Prep making this possible. Um, yeah. So, what we're gonna do tonight? We'll do 30 questions on Pocket Prep, and we'll see if we can. Let's make a goal. Let's go for no less than 85% today.
I'm with it.
All right. Let me get this going. I see Al D. I don't know if he's still trying to get on or not. I see he's on. Let me get this.
Hey Doc, I'm here. I just was in and out, man.
I got you. Welcome, man. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah,
You catch any of the Super Bowl?
yeah, and I did a 70 on my Thor Peterson practice exam,
Okay, okay.
a hard one. I did I
Oh,
did a
so you did like a full exam, like what, like 150, or how many questions was it?
125 with 4 hours, and I stopped at I want to say two and some change. So
Okay.
I don't know the test on there.
And you say you scored a 70. You said.
Yes, yes, I did.
That's what's up. Okay.
Congratulations. Getting
Yeah.
closer.
Yes, I am. Appreciate that, Steve.
All right. That's good. All right. Let me.
Congratulations to your Knicks last night. They got a pretty nice win.
Oh, look, man. Well, first, thank you. And we needed that the way we got slapped around by Detroit on Friday. So we we needed to
Everybody gets
bounce
smacked
back.
around by Detroit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, and you know what's funny is that so the night before, because they were on a back to back, and they had lost to the Wizards of all teams. They were losing by
hmm
double digits to the Wizards. So it's like they took a night off against the Wizards, but they came ready for us the following night. So I'm like,
Yeah, because y'all neck and neck in the rankings. The standing.
yeah, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, question one. All right, what type of testing specifically focuses on the limits and barriers of the software? Focus on the limits and barriers.
Aldi.
Yeah,
I would
some
say DAST. That's where you stress test it. It's dynamic.
right. Yeah, so like static, you wouldn't really get that because it's
It's just a code
contained
review.
or yeah. Interface that's more like the UI, right? If I'm It's more like yeah, like more like
Yeah,
a
like,
user
yeah.
interface type of.
hmm
And fuzzing is
Fuzzing is like when you look for SQL injection and input validation. You just throw a whole bunch of
yeah, you just throw a bunch of
characters and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wow.
fuzzing limits and barriers. Okay. Yes. So fuzzing, yeah, fuzz testing technique used to find flaws and vulnerabilities by sending randomly generated or especially crafted inputs into the software. So there's two types of fuzzers. So mutation fuzzers or dumb fuzzers and generational or intelligent fuzzers.
Oh,
Um, it,
I
I
thought of
I was looking at I did consider fuzzing at first. Um,
I thought it was
This wasn't.
dynamic.
But like the way that the question was describing it, it just didn't. Maybe for me, like my brain, like you do like a word association, like so with that question, it didn't jump out to me. That was something describing fuzzing.
No, it
Um,
wasn't.
yeah, so I did not look at that. So they say dynamic. So what they said for dynamic says use the test application in a running condition. Test usually focuses on the functionality of the software, not the barriers of the software.
Really? Okay. I thought this is where you do your stress test at in your dynamic testing, but
Yeah.
like you see how many users you can connect without suspending itself, things of that nature. But okay.
All right. Tara is training a new employee on several authentication protocols they might encounter. She discusses an authentication protocol that is actually a framework. This framework enables the use of various authentication solutions such as smart cards, tokens, and biometrics. What protocol is Tara most likely talking about?
I think it's EAP. Chap is pretty old.
So,
Pap is
authent-
very old.
so, and they said it has to be. They said this is actually a framework. Um,
Oh, a framework.
Yeah, she said the authentication protocol that is actually a framework. I was looking at OAuth.
Olaf. Yeah. He said framework. Framework is, I think, better fit would be Olaf 2.0. Oh, it was EAP.
Well, my bad. I talked you off of that one. I really
No, we talking
damn.
to each other out of
I
what's that?
thought. Oh yes, yeah. OAuth is authorization protocol, not an authentication framework. So EAP, yeah, yeah. Extensible authentication protocol is a framework for authentication rather than a standalone authentication protocol. So EPA is used to negotiate the best authentication method that both a client and server can agree on. The authentication types it can carry include smart cards, tokens, biometrics, as well as a traditional password. Wow. Yeah, I really thought that was all off. All right. A penetration tester is instructed to conduct a penetration test, but will not be given any information about the company or network. The tester is fully authorized to use all standard tooling and techniques in the test. What type of testing does this best describe?
Closed block, closed box testing, or
Yeah,
black
that's
box testing.
close a black box. Yeah, yeah, closed box, formerly black testing. I didn't even know the name changed, but
Well, it was like the uh, what did you say? Blacklist. People thought it was racially
oh,
infringement, so they got rid of blacklist and start saying allow and deny list. Yeah.
I got you. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, formerly black testing, penetration tester isn't given any prior knowledge of the network and has very little or no information to work with, commonly referred to as the most realistic test, as it provides the same point of view as an outside attacker. All right. A threat actor attempts to present themselves as Acme Incorporated CEO when calling an employee and requesting they perform a bank transfer. What social engineering principle are they attempting to exploit?
I like a trust. No, 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 no.
I thought this was more like a
Authority.
familiarity or, but you
No,
say,
it's
yeah,
authority
CEO, yeah.
because the CEOs on the higher.
Hmm.
Uh,
So given that rank, they should. All right, this is the CEO calling for this. I should do it. So yeah, the authority. Yeah, exploits. Yeah, this social engineering aims to exploit human nature. So the common principles. Yeah, you have authority for this. You know, victims are more likely to obey if they think the attacker is someone with authority. You know, for example, like an executive, law enforcement. The remaining here: intimidation, you know, scare tactics, consensus, um, social proof, or making a target feel as though everyone is doing it. That can make someone uh, fall victim to that. And then you got trust, you know, building a false sense of trust with the victim. You know, like a working relationship over time can lead a victim to do things they might not do otherwise. All right, which of the following single sign on technologies would most likely be used by users accessing resources over the internet?
Hmm. I think it's be federated. Is that what you use for like Facebook, Google type of single sign on?
Accessing which of the following single sign on technologies would most likely be used by users accessing resources over the internet?
The other one seems to be enterprise, like LDAP, Active Directory, Kerberos. It seemed like there was a commonality that they enterprise applications or enterprise type authentication. Only one seemed to be outside that would be federated identity management. That's just my thought.
Because yeah, one that's more like I think of it more like internal, and then like federated, you can connect to other, yeah, like other resources outside of your, you know, organization, lack of a better term or whatever. Um,
Yeah, but since it's since it's third party trust mechanism, it has to use the internet.
yeah,
Other ones seem like they can all be internal, but I'm never surprised when I'm wrong here.
I'll go federated. Yep. Yeah, so yeah, federated identity management form of SSO provides a solution for users accessing resources over the internet. Yeah, so multiple organizations can join a federation or group where they agree on a method to share identities between them. Users in each organization can log on once in their own organization and their credentials are matched with a federated identity. They can then use this federated ID to access resources in any other organization within the group. So, common technologies for this include SAML, OpenID, OAuth, and WS Federation. All right, performing software audit trails establishes which of the following? That should be accountability.
Yeah, like all your release approvals.
Yeah. Yeah. Audit trails keep track of user activities, provide accountability to the user base. Um, Audit trails are especially important for software that contains sensitive data. So, for instance, they're required by the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA, to audit who has access to patient data and when the data was accessed. All right. Open source products can be beneficial for learning, home use, and even in enterprise environments. However, any drawbacks should be considered prior to implementation. What issue is most likely to be associated with open source products, potentially making them a less viable solution than proprietary paid solutions? What issue is most likely to be associated with open source? Oh,
I I think it would be limited support. Open sources wouldn't use license, so you can throw that one out.
yeah. Yeah, it's
And
not going to be
they
licensed.
yeah, and all servers use, not all of them, but most servers use open source operating systems, so should be modern enough so we can toss out A. And I don't think D is right either. Just because it's proprietary, that means it's better.
So would it be safe to say, like, when you're using, um, this, that you're not, well, like are you almost like essentially on your own in a sense, like, so where like you're not
Well,
getting that support?
it's not like there's no tier one, tier two support you can call.
Right. Yeah.
There's always like documentations available for whatever distribution, but it
Or
ain't
more
like you
like,
can call
or more like,
Microsoft.
right. So it's like a use at your own risk type of thing.
Right. There's no enterprise support unless you're using Red Hat Enterprise Linux or something like that. That's why I think limited support is the answer.
Yep. And it is. Yeah, open source products can sometimes have limited support that aren't usually bound by stringent agreements. Yeah, yeah. So that you're not gonna have no user agreements or nothing like that with buyers as their closed source counterparts. Maybe, yeah, open source products may not have the same features as many closed source or proprietary products in their market. All right, an organization wants to implement a formal inspection of all software before any time is spent on dynamic analysis testing. What will be the most formal and in-depth approach to conducting such an inspection? All software anytime is spent. So once you do static, it says inspection of all software before any time is spent on dynamic analysis testing.
Mm, I don't know about this. But if it says dynamic, would it be static testing?
Well,
I think
what?
it kind of.
Because they're saying like, what do you do like before?
Okay.
Yeah, but before you do the dynamic testing. So they
Oh,
want
that
to do
makes sense.
a formal inspection of all software before any time is spent on dynamic analysis testing. So the
Yeah, I get
so
it.
the
Yeah.
and Fagan inspection, I'm I'm trying to recall what I can't remember what that one is.
Yeah, I think
Fa-
it's B.
I see. So I see Aldi. He put A or C. I don't I don't think either of those are right. That doesn't sound like fuzz testing to me.
Well, fuzz testing, it has to be running. It says before
You're right.
dynamic testing.
Yes, I don't. I would rule out alpha and peer review. There's no evidence that they're doing anything like that to make me think it's Charlie. I
I
think it's
think
really
peer
it's
review is more in the development.
right. So yeah, I think this is more between Bravo and Delta. I just can't remember what Fagan inspection was, but I think this is Bravo,
Yeah, I agree.
and it was.
Oh, I was faking.
What is
I don't even remember what
Fagan?
that was.
Oh, so it's a formal step-by-step process of code review, considered the most in-depth code review in the industry, and involves specific criteria for evaluation. So, show static testing and fuzz testing would allow for testing code at a macroscopic or active level, but would not be a formal methodical approach. Additionally, these processes may involve fewer people and provide less opportunity to observe errors and provide adequate feedback. So ultimately, a Fagan inspection involves planning, overview, preparation, inspection, reworks, and follow-ups. None of these other review processes match that. Okay. So Fagan is the most involved, most in-depth option or inspection option.
Learn something every time.
Yeah. All right. Which of the following ports is commonly used for database servers? That's Bravo.
Yeah.
23
Think
is
is
Telnet,
it
443.
MySQL or is
Y-
it is that
Yeah.
MSQL or MySQL?
Uh,
Microsoft SQL. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Microsoft SQL operates on 1433 and 34. HTTPS 443, Telnet 23, SNMP that's 161 through 162. All right, Porter is preparing an upcoming trial. One of their employees was investigated and charged with spying for a competitor. In the trial, Porter will be testifying as an expert witness. What differentiates an expert witness from a standard witness?
B. An expert witness may express their opinions, or conclusions without
Yeah,
providing direct evidence.
right. Yeah, it's not Charlie. Um, it's not Delta. Yeah, yeah. Expert witness. They can express their opinions, conclusions without providing any direct evidence. Yeah, that's mainly because of due to their profession. It allows for that. All right. Which of the following is typically considered a component of the DevOps model?
Any project management? I think it was project management.
Um, I was looking at Charlie.
Quality assurance? I mean, it could be. I don't know.
Uh, I guess what? Why do you think project management?
'Cause that's what DevOps normally do. Manage the pieces of the software
Mm,
development life cycle.
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah,
their overall responsibility. They're not writing code. They're just putting all the pieces together. I mean, I
right.
could be wrong, but that's how I see it.
No, no, that makes sense. Um, and
Oh, well, that's quality assurance.
let me see. So DevOps has three overlapping components: software development, quality assurance, and operations. The DevOps model is closely aligned with the agile development approach, aims to dramatically decrease the time required to develop, test, and deploy software changes. So while functions like project management, financial management, and access control are important to an organization, they are not components of the DevOps model.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was. All the DevOps people I know, they're like the PMP type folks that's
Hmm.
running it.
All right. Alex has been asked to deploy biometric technology by choosing the most accurate method possible that is not affected by health conditions. Which of the following is the most accurate biometric technology? Oh,
Most
which?
accurate.
Okay, most accurate. Um,
Let it be the iris scan.
it'd be iris
Because the retina,
because
you can get glaucoma and high blood pressure can change. And
well, I think it's because it's the most intrusive. Like you can.
but it says it's not affected by health conditions. That's the other piece of the question. That's why I said those medical conditions can change
Oh,
glaucomas and
but because yeah, because you could detect that with through a retina.
exactly. And now you're giving away PHI or PII. Well, yeah, PHI.
Right, right. Yeah,
Guess who got
yes.
glaucoma?
Hmm. Or and I think also too, can they tell if like if a woman's pregnant through that? I thought I read that as well.
I have
Like
no
you
idea.
could. No, yeah, I think I read like you can because of that because you can learn you can pick up a lot or diagnose someone through a retina scan. I think one of them, yeah, you could see if someone is pregnant or yeah, like you mentioned, like glaucoma or maybe other type of disease or whatever. But yeah, Yeah, iris scan the best choice when considering an individual's health conditions. Yeah, retinal scanning, the most invasive type of biometric scanning. So the blood vessels in the retina can be affected by health conditions. Retinal scans may also conflict with privacy laws because they can reveal certain aspects of an individual's health, such as diabetes, pregnancy, or high blood pressure. Yeah, you can learn a lot from the retina. All right, which of the following secure design principles best addresses the potential risks introduced from programming exceptions?
That fail securely. You throw errors. If that's what they're referring to.
Which of the following design principles best addresses the potential residues from program exceptions? Oh, okay. All right. So which one best? Yeah, if something was to happen. Which one of these best, um, takes care of that or addresses it? And has to do with programming exceptions. So I think you would eliminate alpha. You eliminate alpha and bravo. Uh,
And trust but verify is just a slogan.
trust, but
It's just a slogan. Seem to me.
yeah, I mean, because you wouldn't do trust but verify now anyway, because now we're on zero trust.
Yeah.
So
That's why I say
yeah,
fail security.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, what did it say? Yeah, trust but verify is a secure design principle that challenges assumptions of trust derived from certain criteria without trust being explicitly verified. Um, yeah, yeah, it doesn't mention that it's outdated per se, but I know zero trust is
The standard
um
now.
yeah. All right, Acme Incorporated uses a federated identity management system that provides an effective single sign-on capability by linking multiple organizational directory systems. What is the best structure to support the exchange of authentication and authorization information in a federated identity management system within a single enterprise? Support the exchange of authentication and authorization.
Or I'm leaning towards SAML.
I think it's
And
SAML
then
too.
and then OAuth. I always get these mixed up. But I'm leaning towards SAML.
Yeah, it's SAML. Yeah, security assertion markup language, XML based, commonly used to exchange authentication and authorization info between federated organizations. So it's also used to provide single sign-on capabilities for browser and web access. So OAuth 2.0 primarily used for authorization, since the question asks about both of these. So authorization and authentication, SAML is the better answer. All right. Odelia works for a large manufacturing firm that sells some products directly to customers and the rest wholesale to distributors. When processing credit cards, she ensures that she's complying with her contract with the credit card companies. How many requirements does the payment card industry data security standard or PCI DSS have? Jeez, how many requirements? I have no idea.
Ah,
I do not know this.
I'm leaning towards 12. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I I I didn't study I
It's
didn't
big
study
on the test
PCI
though.
DSS. Yeah, but I didn't realize it gets that granular.
I always lean towards 12. I think it was 12. I'm not 100 sure, but that's what my mind is. First thing come to my mind.
Yeah, it's 12. Okay. Well, now I know. So PCI DSS has 12 main requirements. Each requirement has additional subcontrols. These are all, and these are all the 12 controls, all 12 requirements. I won't go through all of these, but yeah, encrypt transmission of cardholder data across public networks. Restrict access to cardholder data by business need to know. track and monitor all access to network resources and cardholder data. Maintain a policy that addresses information security for employees and contractors. All right, so 12 requirements for PCI DSS. All right, which statement about a business continuity plan or BCP is correct?
Mm.
I'm looking at Charlie.
I'm
Um,
with you. You ain't got buy-in by leadership. It's all gonna
yeah, you
fall
could
to the
forget it.
wayside.
Right? Yeah, you could just forget it. I'm looking at Delta. I'm just reading Delta. So the DRP and the BCP cover separate domains that do not need to work well when used. That's false.
Not true.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you don't have senior buy-in, like I said, you could just forget it because it's not going to go anywhere. If they don't approve it, then you have no shot. All right. Which of the following best describes domain name system or DNS poisoning? Uh,
A,
Alpha. Yeah.
how to get you with
It's
those
it's
URL switches.
it's not Delta. Um, it's not Charlie. Yeah. Yeah. So DNS cache poisoning alters the DNS cache with malicious DNS records. So this causes the client to send legitimate network traffic to an attacker. So example, attacker modified the DNS cache for google.com to point to their malicious server. The client would visit the attacker server, not the server for Google. All right. An attacker has gained access to a database with customer records and sells credit card numbers on the dark web. What term best describes this event?
Data breach. Hold on. Uh, One between A and C, but I think C is the more official term.
Yeah, I don't think it could be alpha. So I said attacker gain access to a database and sells a credit card numbers on the dark web. If anything, I'm looking between Charlie and Delta. Um,
No, security event is one thing. Security event is like uh unsuccessful login. That's one event. But a
okay.
preponderance of unsuccessful, that's could possibly be a breach upon further investigation. So I think data breach is the most.
Because usually I see it between security event or an incident. Yeah, an event or an incident. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So a breach is a security event that results in the actual or potential disclosure of protected information. So when it actually goes through and happens, um, so in this case, credit card data that was stolen and sold in an authorized manner. Since a data breach is more specific than a security event, data breach is the better answer.
Like Equifax and
Hmm.
AT&T and
Right. All right. Which of the following types of audit might involve hiring consultants who come in to evaluate the effectiveness of an organization's security controls? That should be third party, right?
third party.
Types of audit might involve hiring consultants who come in. Yeah, third party. What?
Yeah, it's
But
tricky.
it isn't a third party external.
It is. It is. That's what I'm saying. Those is always tricky.
All right. So external audits are performed by an external organization, which I would think is a third party because they're not part of the org. So often they're paid for by the organization. which has a certain level of control over them. However, external audits are considered more trustworthy than internal since external auditors are independent. I mean, this just sounds like third party.
and you're
So
still
third
paying
part,
for it.
right? So third party audits are controlled and conducted by third parties. A regulator may select or credit the auditor and can use the results to determine compliance. I don't know. To
That's
me,
weird.
third party and external are like interchangeable. But apparently not.
Well, the only nuance is that is one is getting paid and one's not, and it kind of prevents the conflict of interest. But I
So,
can't think of an
so,
example where they're not getting paid.
so who's getting paid? The external? I gotta go back.
Yeah, the externals getting
Cause
paid by the organization. Usually your big four, and they all get.
but if an organization hires a third party, aren't they still paying the third party?
That's my point.
So I don't even see the difference.
Yeah, I
All
see
right.
what they're saying in the definition, but in real life it doesn't make any sense.
No,
But
I mean you're still paying them either way. They're not part of your organization. They're still an external or third party organization.
yeah, unless it's like something external, like if you own a nuclear reactor and the Department of Energy come in and inspect it, well, you're not paying them because taxpayers are paying them. That's the only situation I can see something like that. When we're talking about IT,
Right.
normally the organization is paying for it.
All right. Electromagnetic interference, or EMI, is a concern due to its ability to interact with and corrupt network communications. Which of the following is the most resistant to EMI? It should be
Fiber optics,
shielded.
fiber optic, it has no effect by EMI. It uses light waves, vice electromagnetic waves.
Uh, see, I went right to Charlie. I was thinking of shielded. Um,
That's why in the Navy we use fiber optics on the ship, because we can
mhm,
take a nuclear blast and still keep moving and fighting.
right. Yeah, yeah. Fiber optics uses light and no conductors, so it's not susceptible to electromagnetic interference. Shielded twisted pair has a shield to help prevent some interference, but it's still susceptible to EMI. Um, yeah, coaxial cables, low susceptibility to EMI, but not completely resistant. Um, 1000 base T, on the other hand, is very susceptible to EMI. All right, the total combination of protection mechanisms within a computer system is known as which of the following?
PCB, trusted computing base.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. TCB is the total combination of protection mechanisms for a computer system, including hardware, software, and firmware. So these components work together to form a trusted environment that enforces security by controlling access to critical data and processes. All right, Hugo is a penetration tester who has been hired to find vulnerabilities on a file server. He wants to test it if it's possible to open a protected file by requesting access to an unprotected file and then replacing it with the protected file before the system attempts to open the file. Wow. Which of the following best describes this attack? I got lost reading that thing.
Yeah. It's talk two. The time of check, time of use attack.
I'm just reading it again one more time, just for my understanding. Once the test is open. Okay. Yeah. So he's replacing it with the protected file before the system attempts to, yeah. So timer check, time of use. Yeah. I just wanted to understand the question better because when I read it the first time, it just felt very confusing.
No, you
It's,
good.
it said like file like a million times. But this is definitely describing time of check, time of use. Type of security vulnerability occurs when a system's behavior is based on the status or conditions at two different points in time. So the gap between the check time is TOC and the use TOU allows an attacker to manipulate the system between the time checking the status and the time of using it, leading to potential security issues. All right. Customer purchases an internet plan with TV service included. Upon conducting a vulnerability scan after installation, the customer is informed that the cable box has a vulnerability. The customer decides to immediately notify their provider via their bug bounty program while remaining silent on the issue to others until the problem can be solved by the provider. In this case, it's reasonable. Oh, excuse me. Is it reasonable for the customer to refrain from notifying others about the vulnerability? Why?
Yes, this is an example of responsible disclosure.
I'll go with D. Sorry, my thing troubleshooting.
Welcome back, homie.
I
I
know.
know.
I thought you was done for the night.
Oh no.
Yeah, but yes, this is responsible disclosure. So, type of ethical disclosure which vendors are informed but given time to remediate the issue. So, doing so acknowledges an issue needs to be fixed, but gives companies opportunities to do the right thing without alerting the public and increasing the likelihood of cyber attacks. Excuse me. Alexander is learning about bad actors and their behavior, which is very helpful in learning how to analyze an environment and respond to attacks. Which of the following is a model to describe the structure of an attack?
Kill chain.
Okay, kill chain. Yeah,
Kill train.
Mighty kill chain.
yeah, yeah. And those, so the cybersecurity kill chain that was developed by Lockheed Martin, and the seven steps of reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and actions on objectives. All right, which of the following approaches to removing data remnants is the most effective option in cloud environments?
Crypto shredding.
Yeah, cloud.
If
You
was for
yeah,
a
because
cloud environment,
right, because you're destroying the key. Yeah, the cryptographic keys. Yeah, crypto shredding or cryptographic erasure destroys the cryptographic keys used to protect encrypted data. So this runs the risk that encryption algorithm may be broken in the future, or a backup key might be discovered. However, it is often the only available option in cloud environments. In a relational database, the field in the table that points to a different table's primary key is known as which of the following?
Would it be
foreign key.
foreign?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's foreign key.
there's different table.
Yeah, so the foreign key is a
Yeah,
value that references the primary key of a tuple, row, record in a different table. The primary key is a unique non-null value that represents a particular tuple record row within a relational table. So when that primary key is dropped into another table to enable logical connections between the two records, one on the first table and one on the second, to be made, it is called the foreign key. So, for example, if the first table was a table of authors with each record row tuple containing information about a single author, example like name, address, phone number. The second table was a table of books. So it would be good to link the author from the first table of books that they have written. All right. So there are many different types of brute force attacks. In theory, they can always succeed. If a company is working to protect itself from a password guessing brute force attack, what could be done to both prevent the success of this attack as well as alert the security department of possible problems?
lockout policy on user account.
Yeah. Because if they're trying multiple passwords, you don't want them. You don't want to give them the runaway to keep trying. A million passwords. You should lock it out usually after like five attempts. So yeah, an account lockout typically use clipping levels that ignore some user errors but take action after a threshold is reached. So if an account keeps getting blocked out is a good clue that a brute force attack is occurring. All right, which of the following data protection methods best allows a data set to be analyzed and shared without any risk to the privacy of those from whom the data was collected? Would it be delta
Anonymization.
anonymization? Yeah. Yeah, so anonymization refers to the technique of removing the fields in a data set which associate that data with a particular person. So, for example, personally identifiable information fields so that the balance of data in that set can be analyzed and shared without any risk to the privacy of those from whom the data was collected. So, both direct and indirect identifiers are removed permanently with anonymization. Unlike tokenized data fields, anonymized data cannot be recovered, making it the best method for privacy. All right, which security model would you use to prevent the movement of info from one classification to another?
They just had to throw this one in at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, prevent the movement of information from one classification to another.
Well, you could throw out C and D.
I think it's alpha.
Information flow model? Is that a model? I think the only I don't know. I could be wrong. I think the only legitimate one is the Brewer Nash. I don't recall the information.
Oh wait, what? So when you I thought you said you was throwing out Bravo and Delta, but you said it's
No, I was
between
throwing out C and D, and then you
C and
said
D.
A. I
Oh,
was like,
okay, I thought you said B and D. Okay. Hmm.
only recognizable one I is the Brewer Nash.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know about no information flow.
Well,
Once I was wrong, but I don't remember that one.
So this one prevents the movement of information from one classification to another. So Bell, Padula, and Beaver, both information flow models. Are so the model controls the flow of information from high security to low security classifications. These models are used to avoid unauthorized access to data or compromises, excuse me, to data integrity.
And that's why I was looking for the Lepovita and the Beaver, and I didn't
Yeah,
see that. That's why I was like, none of these look recognizable. Well, okay, we learned something.
last one here. Which of the following attacks best exploits a flaw in a system's ability to reassemble oversized fragmented packets?
Gosh, voice laws.
It look like a buffer overflow, isn't it?
I think
That's not
it's
a fragmented package though.
I think it's Charlie.
Teardrop.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. I think it's C.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Teardrop. Yeah, because Teardrop sends out like fragmented packets, like they're incomplete. So they exploit a flaw in the system's ability to reassemble oversized fragmented packets. So attackers to intentionally send oversized fragmented packets with an offset and size that are incorrect, causing the victim's system to crash when they are reassembled.
We get our 80. We're close.
80.
Yeah, got
Oh, right on
80.
the nose.
Right.
It'd be better when they get that damn 29 question. I hate to see them coming, boy. Biba Lapoda. Brewer, Nash.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bell, Padgel, and Bieber, they both fall under that information flow model. And this one really
Third
got
party.
on. This one got on my nerves because external and third party to me are one and the same. But
Noise suppression, all these noise suppression.
Come here.
uh, all right, I just put him on mute. Um, it sound like his kids getting ready for dinner or something.
Child time.
Yeah. Um, and this one, yeah, this was quality assurance. So yeah, so DevOps, the overlapping components: software development, quality assurance, and operations. Fade inspection. And again, this one is the most intricate or most detailed inspection or in-depth inspection. So this one again involves planning, overview, preparation, inspection, reworks, and follow-ups when it comes to a fade inspection. And this was extensible, yeah, because it's a framework rather than a protocol. And this was fuzz testing.
Learn something.
Yeah. All right.
That's why it's good. I tell people all the time when they get these high level certifications, you got to keep at it because you this stuff just atrophy away. You back to square
Yeah.
one before you know it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you don't. And that, I mean, honestly, that really goes for any cert. Honestly, I mean, if you're not practicing it, especially if it's something that's maybe not primarily part of your day to day duties, and you don't really have the opportunity to really see it or really handle it as much, yeah, it could easily start to go away. So you still want to spend time, trying to keep your skills sharp and, um, but just keep yourself exposed, to that, so that way you don't lose it. 'Cause especially with these certs, man, look, like once I finally get this thing under my belt, man, ain't no way I'm losing it. So,
I
um,
swear.
so
Yeah.
yeah, um, so I get it, yeah, cause I mean, I've talked to folks that, they've gotten certs and they let their cert lapse and they try to retest it to take it over and they, because they haven't messed with it in a while and they failed it because, like, even though they were previously certified in it, they haven't touched it in a while and they let it lapse. And, they're having a hard time getting back to it. So I ain't never, I'm not letting nothing lapse, man. I spent too much time and money
Heck yeah.
to let that happen. So, but good job, good work tonight. Yeah, 80%. I mean, that's a cert. So, but yeah, we'll be back again for this live next Monday. But Wednesday we'll do our security plus within the Discord. So, those listening, if you're looking to join a community, definitely reach out and join us on the command line. And then Fridays we do our lab night. Um, we actually did a good one Friday. I was working with someone in the community on Friday, and we were doing I think some command line actions on there. So that was pretty. Actually, it was as we was working with Wireshark. We was working with Wireshark, so that was pretty cool. But
I tried to get in on Friday. I couldn't figure it out. I don't know what was going on. No one can hear me. After 5 minutes, I just punched out. Did
uh,
you see me?
yeah, I saw you drop in. Because like so with that, because it was like on the stage type of thing, so you had to like request to come on stage to speak. But yeah, I was just trying it out. So maybe next time I'll just use the regular chat rooms that we always do. So try to eliminate any confusion.
Cool.
But
All
okay,
right. Well, thank you doing what you do. Appreciate it. All do
yes
be
sir,
easy.
yes sir. All right, y'all. Yeah, y'all take it easy, and I'll see you around.
All right, Doc.
All right,
Well,
later.